Now, this, guys, if you're watching, that you've got Trump on the left side, at
Mhm.
least of the screen, and you've got Xi
Mhm.
on the right side. And the Chinese did some of their typical trips. Now, mind you, Trump's what, over 6 foot. He's a good 4 or 5 inches taller than
President Xi.
Wang. I mean, Xi.
It's okay.
And so here he is. As we're watching the video, they clearly gave Xi a thicker cushion chair, so he looks just a
Oh my
fuzz
gosh,
taller
he's
sitting
so
down
much.
than
That's
Trump.
not a fuzz.
Am
That
I
is not
right,
a fuzz.
Carrie?
He is so much taller.
It's not a fuzz. And you can tell Trump's not happy about it too, because they messed with the
Okay.
cushions. I think Xi is sitting on an American-made cushion, and Trump is on a Chinese cushion, and he sinks all the way to the thing.
Wait. Can you?
Welcome, everyone, to Todd's World, the wildly opinionated news hour. I'm here. I'm Todd. Carrie's
Great.
here. How's
How
it
are
going,
you?
Carrie? Good. I'm happy to be back. I'm always happy to be back here, even if it's like a long week that I feel like I was drugged through a knothole backwards. I'm always happy to be back.
Really? Is this your respite? Is this the place where you get recharged?
Yes.
Nice.
It's where I get to bring it.
Woo, as we say in my house.
Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us today. Listen, all of our stuff, we do Wildly Opinionated News Hour, where we just walk through the news today. We do Beers with Jesus on Wednesdays. That's tomorrow. And we're walking through the book of Genesis. All we do, we don't preach at you, though you probably need it.
We're not really qualified. We don't really think of ourselves that way.
We just, Carrie takes confession at certain times during the week.
I do not.
Just as a finger in the eye of the Catholic Church, the girls can do it too. Anyway, we do Beers with Jesus. We drop that on Wednesdays. ToddsWorld.net has all the books. I got some fabulous books out there. Yeah. What we could really use from you guys is to go to YouTube and watch a show, rate us on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're at. If you could give us a 5-star rating, that really makes a difference when it comes to and share us with some friends and stuff. We put clips out, or we try to put clips out. This week was not my best week for clips. You were very busy.
We work outside of this.
Usually,
this is not our full-time gig.
I know. That's why we need you to rate it and share it, so it can be our full-time gig, and I can put out so many more clips that you can share. So anyway, thank you for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it. And so, what's going on? Have you been paying any attention to what's going on in the world, Carrie?
A little bit. Did
you hear there's a war?
I did not hear there. I didn't hear there was a war.
There's a war in Iran.
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of old news. I heard that Trump went to China.
Yes.
China. And been hearing some stuff coming out of there. Hopefully we'll talk about a little bit of that today. And and I feel like we've discovered some interesting Chinese citizens here in the US this week, and that's pretty much all I know about. What about you?
You know what, Carrie? Let's play your clip. This is the chick from it's a Democrat mayor of Arcadia, California, right?
I'm sure she's an upstanding mayor.
Well, I mean,
surely
listen, people are going to be shocked to find out what country she was actually working. You'll never guess.
On his project.
Okay. Let's see if it'll pull us up. Here we go. What's her name, Carrie? I forgot her name. Anyway, Wang, I think.
Is it really?
I think it is Wang. I think it is.
You know what? I was going to say, on the news, they've just been calling her a California mayor.
They're going to tell us. Yeah, so she was a California mayor of Arcadia, California. Let's hear what this clip is telling us. Carrie, occasionally during the week, will send me a clip here and there. Most of the clips are curated by yours truly.
I'm really not in charge of the clips.
Occasionally, we let the rank amateurs choose some. So here we go. Well, Carrie's not a rank amateur. Carrie's squarely in her lane on Todd's World. We would like you guys, Todd's World 23 or 2023. Send us clips if you have them. If you think they're interesting, maybe they'll make the show.
Well, that'd be
I don't
fun.
know. We'll see.
Send us your favorite news clip.
Let's see what's going on here with Will Smith and this mayor of. Why is Will
He's on
Smith on here?
Newsmax. He's a guest host.
Wait a minute. Everybody's going to be like, you just think they all look
No,
alike.
he actually
No,
looks
I don't.
like
This guy
Will
looks a little
Smith.
bit like Will Smith. Here's the clip, guys.
Federal prosecutors have charged the mayor of Arcadia, California, Eileen Wang, with secretly acting as an illegal agent of the Chinese government. Authorities say Wang agreed to work on behalf of China to spread pro-Chinese propaganda inside the United States. She's expected to plead guilty to the charges. Let's welcome in the author of The Coming Collapse of China and Plan Red, China's project to destroy America, Gordon Chang. And
all through Wang.
Yes.
You guys see how I pulled that? That's what a consummate professional I am. I didn't even have to know her name, and I knew her name. Wang, Tang.
Okay.
Brigadier General Blaine Holtz. Thank you both for being here this evening. Gordon, I want to start with you. Is this just the tip of the iceberg for a CCP infiltration into U.S. politics?
Certainly just the tip of the iceberg. We know that China's actions are pervasive. You know, just take a look at Eric Swalwell. China contacted him not when he was on the House Intelligence Committee.
There seems to be a strange similarity between Chinese last names.
When he would be obvious value to Beijing. They first contacted him when he was on the City Council of Dublin City, California. Now, this is not to accuse Eric Swalwell of a crime, but it is to show you how comprehensive China's efforts are, because there couldn't be just one Eric Swalwell. There must be hundreds, if not thousands, who have been groomed by China in this country.
Oh, God, let that not be true.
It's pretty scary. It's a pretty scary thought, right? Well, but I mean, think about it. Yeah, they approached him when he was just like on this.
We don't need more than one Eric Swalwell.
Right. I mean, his point, the author of that book, his point was they didn't go after someone who's like in the Senate. They went after some little city councilman, and then he rose up, and it's like, yeah, this is really pretty interesting. I didn't notice until you played the clip, because it was big in front of me, the picture of her on the mic there. She's wearing a U.S. flag on her lapel, but also wearing these star-shaped stars and stripes earrings. Like, yeah, she's...
It's the 4th of July every day for Mayor Wang.
Anyway.
Don't worry about us. We're just average, everyday, ordinary Americans like you.
Interesting, right?
Vote Wang for mayor. There won't be any problems at all. Oh, Lord. So that was one thing. You know, Trump went to China. Yeah. And I thought this was kind of interesting. I wonder if this is hold on. They're gonna show let's show the clip while we're doing it. You knew Trump was in China this week. With Marco Rubio, Elon Musk was there. There was there was a large group of businessmen.
A whole bunch of like S&P companies.
So here they are getting on Air Force One to head home. Just a little pomp and circumstance. But what I thought was interesting, look at that. That's our president. Yep. I do feel good about it, even if prices are a little high.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I do still love Trump.
I feel good about it, too.
Listen to what this says. Prior to boarding Air Force One to depart Beijing, the entire U.S. delegation disposed of every item provided to them by their Chinese hosts. Gifts, badges, pins, and commemorative items were all dumped into the trash bin on site. The directive was absolute. No item of Chinese origin was permitted aboard the aircraft. The precautions extended beyond the departure itself. The delegation members had left all personal electronic devices at home before traveling to China and operated exclusively on clean burner phones throughout the duration of the trip. It's like, it is. It's interesting how you have world powers getting together for these summits, and we don't trust the Chinese at all. Right? But we're going to go there, and we're going to take our president.
I mean, I was a little nervous when I heard that he was going there. I'm thinking, why is he going? Of course, maybe he's more in danger here than he is there.
He certainly had more shots fired at him here.
I mean, he's been here more. I don't know. I just was a little nervous, but that's fascinating. It just dumped everything in the trash.
So they are taking no chances.
Okay,
I
that's
thought that
cool.
I thought that
Good
was
for them. I'm
interesting
glad
too.
someone's thinking about it.
So
No
yeah, the
souvenirs.
Chinese are on. Oh, this is a great one too. I want to get to.
Okay,
I've got some clips of
cool.
Trump talking that I want
Do
to
it.
parse through that, but this is great. I gotta
Okay.
show you this, and these are just a couple little random Trump China trip things that are kind of interesting. So here he is. They let's see if you'll notice on this clip. Now this, guys, if you're watching, there's not going to be a whole lot to hear here, so I'm gonna kind of you've got Trump on the left side, at least of the screen, and you've got Xi on the right side, and the Chinese did some of their typical trips. Now, mind you, Trump's what, over 6 foot. He's a good 4 or 5 inches taller than
President Xi.
Wang. I mean Xi.
It's okay.
Sorry. Random phonetic syllables I forget for last names. And so here he is. As we're watching the video, they clearly gave Xi a thicker cushion chair, so he looks just a fuzz taller sitting down than Trump.
That's not a fuzz.
Am
That
I
is
right,
not a
Carrie?
fuzz. He is so much taller.
It's not a fuzz, and you can tell Trump's not happy about it too, because they messed with the cushions. I think Xi is sitting on an American-made cushion, and Trump is on a Chinese cushion, and he sinks all the way to the thing.
Wait. Can you go back? I want to see if the arm of the chair is. Oh, look, they're not.
They are, because you can tell by the table.
Look at the arm of Xi's. Well, before that, when his hand's out of the way. I don't know. I think. I feel like it's taller. That's hilarious. Also, Trump sits like a 7-year-old in trouble. I don't know why he sits like that. I love Trump, but it's like, dude, you are this.
Well, he's a bigger guy.
He's this powerful, confident, intelligent guy. Even if you argue he's not intelligent, he's a powerful, experience on these kinds of stages, and he sits.
I just want to defend big men out there everywhere that you have to sit a certain way.
Can't you just sit up like a normal person? Why does he sit like hunched over with his hands between his knees like he's a little kid at the principal's office?
He doesn't want to lean back because he's always engaged. So if you see him, it's rare to see him like kick back in a chair. He's like engaged. But the issue is, now the chair is in such a way that he can't really sit there comfortably. Look at how far Xi's elbows.
So funny.
You can't see it right now, but Xi's elbows are like 3 inches, 4 inches above the armrest when he's sitting, and Trump's elbows are like 2 inches below. Like they totally were just messing
wild.
So anyway, the guys, that's just some fun. It's some fun geopolitical maneuvering when it comes to chair cushions. I think that's great, though.
It's kind of a cool, understandable political tactic.
Yeah, we had, was it Biden or was it, I don't remember who. Maybe it was Hillary Clinton. Because she's a little lady. Well, little lady in filling out a big pantsuit. Didn't she stand on a box on a podium for one of her debates with Trump because she's so much,
possibly.
She's so much smaller than Trump. I think they put her on a box. Either that, or remember they messed with like podium sizes. Like they'll have Hillary will have her own little smaller podium,
so she doesn't look so small.
And like Trump's got a man-sized podium,
like the ladies' tees. Does Hillary hit from the ladies' tees, or
I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure that Hillary is absolutely batting from the ladies' side of the plate.
Gotcha.
Regardless.
Anyway.
Okay, I want some. Now let's
funny.
Okay. So that was Trump. That was China. It was fun. He was over there. He was trying to cut some deals. Now the press came over. Rubio was over. A bunch of people were over with Trump. Like I said, Elon Musk, I think he brought I don't know if it was 50 CEOs. He brought a bunch of business leaders. And the whole point was, I think that China and America need to work together. We can make more money and have a better impact for our citizens if we work together rather than being rivals. Meanwhile, they give Trump a crappy chair cushion. Yeah. But, that's the goal. Now, Brett Baer was over there. Sean Hannity was over there. So there's members of the press over there. Brett Baer did an interview with Trump while he was in Beijing. And this is a longer interview, 3 minutes, but we'll get through it. We'll stop it here and there. This is, I think you're going to find Bret Baier addresses exactly what everybody is worried about, which is prices and affordability. And Trump, do you care? He wants to know.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So let's hear what President Trump has to say.
Gas prices in America are still high, painfully high.
They're going to drop like a rock as soon
once
as
it's over.
War. Yeah, they'll
Painfully high though now, and could be creeping higher
lower than
before it's
Biden.
done.
Excuse me, lower than Biden, and much lower than people thought they'd be.
This inflation number is going up. You're right; it's much lower than President Biden's was, but it's going up under you. The numbers are. You can imagine Democrats and political pundits
The people get it.
jumped all over this
The people
statement
get
that
it.
you.
The people get it,
No.
Carrie, do you think?
The people do not get it.
Okay.
No, they absolutely do not get it. All they care is how much am I having to swipe my card for at the pump?
Let me ask you this. Do you think Trump thinks the people get it? Or do you think he's just saying it? Or do you think he really believes? I think the people
I
get
think
it.
he believes it. I mean, I think he believes it. Or he's hopeful. And if he says it in the interview, maybe people are like, oh, yeah, I guess, it's just part of the.
Well, he's always pushing people
Yeah,
to where he wants them
for
to
sure.
be. That's
That's
one
true.
of his skills. Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Made the other day. You were asked when you were leaving.
What extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
So if people didn't hear that, the reporter, they're out by the helicopter, just kind of the press gaggle. This is before he took off for China. I think he was flying to Air Force One on Marine One. Reporter said, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal? That was the question, if you guys didn't hear it.
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
That's right.
So that was a tough sound clip.
Okay,
that
this
was out
explains, because I did see some stuff, people, complaining about the latest, they kind of calling it a gaffe, like him not caring. That explains where that came from. I understand.
So Trump and Brett are going to get into it, but he's not going to show weakness to any other country in the world. And what that reporter was trying to do is to set Trump up to where the only way for you to show empathy for the people in America, for Americans out there struggling with prices, is for you to show weakness. And Trump just wasn't going to buy it. So I don't think it's that Trump doesn't care. I just think he's not going to show weakness. I agree with you
completely.
Like
Trump does care, but the steps that he had to take in Iran don't have anything to do with our economy, at least initially. I think he will always spin it to be, beneficial. Like we've been talking about the oil, we've been talking about, and I heard something about China agreeing potentially to buy some oil from us. So, I mean, he could eventually spin some things for our economic benefit, but it's not why he is handling Iran.
Okay, see,
Well,
people
I
do
get
it.
it,
You get it,
but
Carrie.
I'm squarely in
The
my lane
people.
on Todd's world.
Okay, here's Bret Baier. He's gonna dig in a little harder on Trump on it.
It's a perfect statement. I'd make it again.
But you can
Perfect
imagine how
statement.
many people stop the soundbite
No.
I don't think about America's
played that
financial
up.
situation. So what's your response to that
It's
framework?
very simple. When people hear me say it, everybody agrees. Short-term pain. It's going to be short-term pain. But the pain is much less than people thought. Because people thought that the oil would go up to $250. It was $99 yesterday, $99 a barrel. I thought it might go up to $200. I was okay with that. Not that I wanted it, but you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. They will use it on us. They'll start off with Israel, wipe it out. The Middle East, wipe it out. It'll go to Europe. They have a missile that goes to Europe. You saw that, okay? They have a missile goes to Europe. I have done Europe a very big favor. When you tell somebody you're going to have to pay a little more, not that much more, a little more for gas, Eileen, for a very short period of time.
He's really trying to sell it. I mean, would you expect
No,
anything?
I
less
think
from
what
Trump?
what he's saying here is fair. And I'm relieved. I didn't realize how bad it could be. I mean, things, of course, you can logically say things can always be worse, but I didn't realize.
Yeah, I think oil's about
Okay.
$100 a barrel right now. Ballpark, 100,
And he thought it
110,
could have
something
been
like that.
double. Can you imagine? I don't know if that translates, to our gas being double what it is.
I bet he
But
starts
holy
answering the
crap.
questions different. I did have Grok run a
Okay.
graph because I thought about using it. And I had it took it a little while, but I asked from 2015 to present I wanted a graph comparing the price per barrel
Yes.
of oil with the price per gallon of regular
Yes,
gasoline.
I'd love to see or hear
And
the results on that.
and it followed almost it just followed real close. So I didn't think that it didn't seem wildly opinionated newsworthy. I expected maybe there'd
Like a
be
big
a few more
gouging
more
period?
variations, but
Is that what you mean?
it was pretty close. Yeah, I'm just saying it followed it pretty close, as you would
Well,
expect.
as you'd hope.
So,
but I sometimes,
yeah.
what doesn't make sense to me, and this is just day to day, is we'll see it, swing 30 to 60 cents in a day. And it's like, did the price of oil change that much in the last 24 hours?
I don't
So I
think
wonder
so.
sometimes.
I think I do wonder, but some of it has to do with
Sure.
refineries. Some of it does have to do with the
Yep.
futures market. So they've got oil there that they bought for this price, but they've got to replace the oil,
yeah.
and it's
And it has to get to us, and it could vary in different areas. And yeah.
Problem I see is that $5 a gallon gas, we can absorb it for a few months, but people aren't going to absorb it long. You're
Yeah.
going to start to see fuel surcharges from, I'm a builder, so I think of lumber companies, and I think of people delivering things, but you think of shingles, you think of asphalt, you think of vinyl siding. There's so many things that people don't. Now, because I'm a builder, I think of these things, but petroleum goes into all of these things. I've been through so many cycles. I've been doing this for 30 years. And I'm telling you that every single time this happens, it doesn't take long and they start throwing their fuel surcharges on. And I can tell you this, never. Those fuel surcharges are baked in, and they never come back when gas goes back down to $2.50
You're
a gallon.
correct.
Never.
They never back them down. It's like, well, we got it. It affects all service industries too. Pest control, lawn care, anyone who's driving to you to provide a service. Yeah, they add those things.
It affects you driving.
Right.
Affects you
Obviously,
going to
it affects
work
us,
every
but
day.
like you're talking about supplies, it also affects just the service industries who have to drive to you.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yep.
So it's everywhere. But Trump it can be absorbed for a little bit. It needs to come down. Let's see what he has to. Let's finish it out.
Because we want to stop the threat of being blown to pieces by a lunatic, by a crazy person, and they are crazy, using nuclear weapons. Everybody says that's fine. And that question was a fake question, and they didn't put my full answer. I totally care. Look, I inherited high prices. And they came with the word affordability. My first press conference, 2 days in, and Biden didn't do press conferences. He'd go for years without doing, because he was incapable of doing it. He was an incompetent person. But my first question was about eggs. Eggs have quadrupled. What are you going to do? I said, eggs? Tell me about eggs. Tell me about the problem. Eggs have gone up 4 times. He said, I'll take care of it. By the way, I did take care of it. But they came up with a word, because they are
Somebody tell them about gas.
They're rotten with policy. They're horrible politicians. In many cases, we have a new name. They're Democrats. I call them Democrats, not Democrats. They're Democrats. A lot of low IQ people.
Democrats,
Ilhan
guys.
Omar saying World War XI. She said she was referring to World War II. She said World War XI. These people are destroying our country, and we have to stop it.
I'm so glad he mentioned that, because we never got to it, and that was such that. I'm sorry,
that slipped by me. I'll be honest.
I was laughing
till he just said it in this clip.
I was laughing my ass off.
I mean, it was earlier this week.
No, it's a couple weeks ago. It's hysterical though.
Slipped right by Todd's world, guys. I didn't see World War XI coming.
The comments on it were a riot. Yeah, can you imagine? It's like, girl, what? And it might have been an autopilot moment if she was reading something and her brain, read it. I don't know if she literally doesn't know.
Well, that might be a good excuse for a junior in high school. I don't know if that's a good excuse for a congressional representative of the United
I have
States
to
House of
agree, and the
Representatives.
fact that she
Was as dumb as a
well,
Somalian rock,
so she
apparently.
She
Well, she can
probably
get some money, though. She knows
yes,
how
but
to
she
work
probably
that
grew up in
fraud.
a leaning center, a leering center, or whatever. So the education isn't as strong. But I think English is her second language, right? I
I
guess
mean, I
so.
guess.
Well, wait, was she born here?
I think dollars are. I think U.S. dollars are her
Right.
first language. That's what she
Yep.
speaks best.
Yeah. Wild.
So, what do you think, Carrie, of Trump's?
Mhm.
What he has to say about what's going on, addressing things that people are worried about,
Mhm.
obviously.
Yeah. I mean, yes, he does care about the American people. I just don't think it wasn't the primary motivation to go to war in Iran. That's all. And yeah, of course, they
Right.
take it out, strip it down, report it in such a way to try to further convince the people watching the mainstream news that he doesn't care about you. He's a horrible man who doesn't care about you. That's all. That's all they do. I mean, that's low hanging fruit for them.
That
Yeah.
is true. And I thought he handled it. I thought Brett was pretty fair.
Yeah.
I thought he handled it pretty well. He asked some things that
Mhm.
needed to be handled. This is the same
Okay.
interview, and I'm going to tell you that I like this answer
Okay. Got it.
less
All
by
right.
Trump.
Here,
He's
Trump.
a
Hold
very
on just a second,
imperfect,
Alex,
guys. I'll set
imperfect
it up.
person.
Yeah, and I love Trump, but so Brett's gonna read a couple, I don't know, little emails or
Oh.
messages from Trump
Oh,
supporters
okay.
to Trump, and you're gonna hear Trump do what Trump, in my opinion, has too much of a
Got
tendency
it.
to do sometimes.
when you Trump voters, Alex says, I voted for you 3 times. He can't handle the costs. And he's not for this foreign
I
conflict.
hate it. Brett.
He's not for the foreign conflict, but Roy in Pennsylvania,
Roy.
he's a retired farmer. He can't handle the fuel going up. And he says
It's
he's
going to come down
disappointed.
very fast.
And
Well,
so,
no, look, disappointed.
I'm just telling you
When
what
you
they
say
said.
to him, Roy, Alex, we got a problem. We just hit the highest stock market price ever. By the way, then when I went in, now again,
It's higher.
with the war, it's higher than it was when I went in. Think of that.
I
The
agree.
401ks at their all-time high. There are more people working right now in the United States of America than at any point ever in the history of our country.
Detroit Free Press, a state that you won. While champagne flowed on the
Okay, they're gonna stop this.
Okay.
I want to read this, and this clip's gonna
Okay.
end. So I want to finish. He's gonna. Brett says this is from the
Mhm.
Detroit Free Press, and the headline for those who aren't watching the show, you should try to give the show a watch on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, we're trying to gear it towards video, but listen, I want you guys to be able to listen to it
Right.
however you want to listen to it. So
You can't watch and
whatever works.
drive,
It'll
so.
keep going out everywhere. Yeah. Well, you can, but it's a little dangerous. I don't know. Carrie might be worth that. I don't know if I'm worth that. So it says Wall Street pops the champagne. Consumer sentiment hits a record low. While champagne flowed on the trading floor and President Donald Trump celebrated record highs, pessimism spread like wildfire outside Wall Street stores and straight into the kitchens of average American families. What do you think?
So
Carrie?
you said he answered this question in the way he tends to, and it's not your favorite, and that is he refers to positive economic indicators that don't necessarily translate to like concrete feel,
Yeah, I reckon that most of the people that have a lot of money in the stock market
Yeah.
are real happy. I don't know if most of the bottom 50% of Americans, if
Right.
that
We don't know
matters
if
to them.
the emailers.
And Trump has to find a way to
Yes.
connect that. Now, maybe Wall Street is hanging strong, and maybe that's a sign the economy's hanging strong, and maybe that will eventually flow down, and hell, maybe we'll have a middle
Right.
class again. Who knows?
Right.
But as
Yeah.
of right now, your bottom 50% of the country's getting
Yeah.
squeezed. And I didn't mind his first answer, but to come back to, well, I mean, stock market's
Yeah.
great. That sounds to me like Mary Antoinette, let them eat cake if they don't have
Mhm.
bread.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Todd, he
Just-
needs He's
It's out
missing
of touch.
there's a little gap in here. So he almost got there because he went from the market to unemployment to jobs. So you start
Yeah.
talking jobs, it starts affecting regular people. And he's right. That's looking good too. I think the job numbers.
Wages are down.
Okay.
We haven't seen real wage growth in America relative to prices,
Oh,
which are the only way that wages
right.
matter. Because everybody's using it to buy stuff. Nobody's using their wages as prayer beads to get to God better. Everybody's using it for
Yes.
economic activity. So if everything else grows by 25% over the course of 10 years, if prices go up by 25% and wages go up by 7%,
Yeah.
that's a problem. And everybody on that end is feeling it. Everybody on the lower end is feeling it. But Trump's not feeling it, and Trump's advisors aren't feeling it, and the people out there.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? It does bug me that I think. And listen, that doesn't mean he doesn't need to do the right thing on the
Right.
national stage. He does, and maybe he's given up on domestic matters to some point. I don't know. I think that there's a frustration that's set in with Trump, which is Congress won't do anything. Congress won't pass a SAVE Act that says you have to be an American citizen to vote in an election. A Republican Congress won't do that. If we don't have enough votes for that, and they don't essentially pass anything, how are you supposed to campaign? Why would people vote for that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And Trump, I think, hit his limit a little bit on executive orders and what he felt like he could do. And then Congress does nothing. And here it sits. What about mass deportations? Trump could do that. He doesn't have the political will to do it, I don't think. He closed the border. That's great. That's good. He doesn't have the political will to do mass deportations, which would eventually lower prices. How do you get prices? The answer is you don't. Prices never come down, except on commodity goods like oil.
Yeah.
And
Well,
things
and
like
at the
that.
grocery store, like right now, our prices,
Food's a
eggs,
commodity.
the beef. I just think he's missing a step, and he was so close to connecting those dots. He needs to know that, yes, the bottom 50% don't understand that we're all buying gas, buying groceries, trying to feed our families, and we're looking at what we have left at the end of the month, and it's like, I can't do this. I can't do this for much longer. And he's got to connect those dots and say, listen, here's where we are. These are really good indicators. If these don't impact you today, they are really good indicators that we are on the right path. We're on the right trajectory. He needs to just connect the dots, because to only speak to those items, those line items, like he's missing communicating with the
And
every bit.
in addition to all of this, messaging that's out. Go ahead, Carrie. You got something
Go
else
ahead,
to say?
finish your messaging thing.
In addition to all of that, you know what else Americans hear? Let's talk about the bottom half of Americans, just for shits and giggles. You know what the bottom half of American hears every day about? They hear about data centers. They hear about how their electric rates are going through the sky because of AI. Then they hear about how AI is going to take all their jobs.
Very pessimistic.
And this is all on top of you already can't afford with the job that you have. What about when the robots come for you 5 years from now? Is Trump doing anything to address any of that anxiety in the American people?
I'm going to say no. And the thing I wanted to say goes right along. It's like holding hands with what you just said. And that is that the left loves the division, loves pitting, the wealthy against the poor, the, racial tension. They love feeling that. And right now, they are setting themselves up for a split between the haves and the have-nots. And if they're just talking about champagne flowing, I mean, the whole way that Detroit Free Press headline was worded, champagne flowing. No, it's terrible.
Now listen, the Detroit Free Press is as lib as you could get for a newspaper.
But guess what? People who are hurting see that and think Trump and all of his rich friends and all of Washington's rich. It's what they've been told by ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN forever, that Trump only cares about the wealthy.
These things are the only ones.
It's just going to feed. So
Trump's not addressing it. They're not hearing anything else from anybody else.
And him talking about that only pours fuel onto the fire of that division and that resentment and that feeling of, I'm never going to get ahead. Trump's only taking care of the wealthy. And that's really unfortunate because it all works together. But I'm like, remember when Wall Street started to shift? It seemed like at some point, the whole Wall Street.
Do you remember Scott Bessent talking
Yeah.
about how we played this right after Trump was elected? Wall Street's had its day. It's time for Main
Yes.
Street to have its day. That sentiment has seemed to
it
have
has.
disappeared from the Trump White House. Now, if I lined up Scott Bessent and Trump and I could talk to all of them, they'd probably tell me all the ways all of that's going to change in the next year. I think that's fabulous. You know what? I might even believe you. Will you? Will somebody tell somebody you're the greatest communicator, Trump, maybe that we've ever had as a president? Maybe go out and talk to him. Go do a rally. Will you do something for your base that elected you and tell them why in the hell you're over in Iran? Tell them why their prices are so high and tell them when they're going to come down. I'm telling you, I don't think the people get it, Trump.
I'm with you.
Susie Wiles, your chief of staff, I don't think the people get it. Do better. Do better. It's not just getting elected. It's making people's lives. And I know Trump cares about that. And I think probably what you're doing is going to make a lot of people's lives better. I like the Venezuela stuff. I like the Cuba stuff. What about America?
Yeah, but you can't
Why did we turn tail and run out of Minnesota from Tim Balls of all people? But you're going to make sure Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, but we can't make sure that Tim Balls doesn't allow an invasion of America. I just, these things don't make sense to me.
Right. Well,
What do you think, Carrie? Am I too worked up? I have too hard of a week.
No, I think this is valid venting. This is completely valid. And I look forward and I think as things say, if he's correct, if gas prices drop suddenly, if everything starts to turn around, that's great. And there will be lots of people who say, see, he was right. But he can't lose ground in the meantime. He's got to hold on. If there's too much erosion in the meantime, you can't win everybody back. They'll forget because there's so much coming at you that's anti-Trump. If you give in, so I know a couple people who have gone to the other side. Now they hate Trump. They didn't hate him in the beginning, and now they do. Oh yeah, you're never going to get those people back if you lose too much ground.
Sorry.
So.
Well, Carrie, that was a perfect. Sorry, I didn't mean to have that. It's just
that was perfect.
Things on me random.
Perfect.
It was the perfect lead-in to this clip, is what Carrie just said.
We don't even rehearse, you guys.
Carrie, this is all impromptu. Carrie is so wildly talented. She led us right where I was going, and she had no idea. Probably never saw this clip. This is why you guys can't miss her.
That guy is hunched over like Trump sits in the China chair right there.
I know. Listen, this is on CNN, and this is a 3-minute clip. We'll see how much to go through it, but you're going to see the erosion that you just talked about. It's all over. I mean, I when I say it's all over, I don't mean it's over like it can't ever come back. My point is it's all over the map. You see it all over is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah, where are we now? What a different world. Oy vey if I'm the
Oy
president
vey.
of the
Guy says,
United
oy
States.
vey.
Because just take a look here. Okay, Latino voters on Trump. He won a record share for a Republican presidential nominee, 46% of that vote, going all the way back since we had the advent of exit polls back in 1972. And look at where he is today. His job approval rating in an average of CNN polls this year, 28%.
So for those who aren't watching, in the 2024 election, Trump gained 46%. He got 46% of the Latino vote, the Hispanic vote, and that was unheard of for a Republican nominee. And his job approval with Latinos or Hispanics today, and 2 years later, is down to 28%.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm going to keep playing it, but sometimes numbers are hard if you're not watching it.
Also, I want to say too, he's comparing apples and oranges here, so let's be fair. And it's CNN.
That's fair.
He's talking about his share of the vote versus his job approval today. Two totally different measures. But go ahead.
Okay, let's let CNN go.
Polls are all BS, so I'm going to call them
come up with.
That is an 18-point drop. The bottom has completely fallen
Not
out
an
when it comes to
18
So
Donald
excited
Trump
with
and Latino
CNN.
voters. He won record numbers of them back in 2024, and they have abandoned him with the utmost just dislike of what he is doing so far. Just 28%, a drop of 18 points.
Now, among Latinos, it was Latino men who were driving this movement toward him in 2024. Where are they now?
Yeah, you think that this movement is a lot? What about Latino men? Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay, Latino male voters. In the 2024 election versus Kamala Harris, look at this. Trump won him by 10 points. Look at the net approval rating now, minus 41 points. That is a movement of 51 points, a shift away from the president of the United States. Latino male voters supercharged that record performance that Donald Trump had with Latino voters, and they, like Latino women, Latinas, are moving against.
So, Carrie, you don't think that's you don't think it's fair to compare what he won in the election compared to net
I don't.
approval
I'm going to
now?
say, so the first one, I won't even jump to the first one because it was so obviously two different things. But this one's, we're going to use the apples and oranges comparison.
Yeah.
This poll essentially takes a poll of how many people prefer apples over oranges. Okay.
Okay.
In the election.
election.
And now today,
Mhm.
2
Trump
years
is orange.
later. No. Trump,
Kamala's
apples.
not.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I hate that. I hate people call it the orange, him the orange man. But okay. So if Trump is apples, they preferred 10% preferred apples during the 2024 election over Kamala Harris's oranges. Now, 2026, they're saying, how many of you like apples? And it's less than the whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're just saying how many of you like
Everybody's always
approve of the apple.
in the middle of a second term. Everybody's always going to be a little unhappy with whoever's there. It's just as possible that if Kamala had been elected and had gone about destroying America like the auto pen probably would have, her net approval right now might be 50 points underwater
minimum
with Hispanic men. So
I'm just saying.
Okay, so that's fair.
They're just trying to find some stuff that show wild swings and trying to make it seem like
But that disapproval number, that net approval number is
that's bad.
It's bad.
Looking at that on its own,
that's not Trump getting into office and doing everything he said he'd do, and everybody just being
100%.
happy because there's a chicken in every pot
100%.
and a car in every
Yes, you're
garage,
correct.
right?
Yep. Wow.
So
Okay.
let's
there's
keep
more.
going with.
President of the United States, minus 41 points. Again, the bottom has just completely fallen out. And of course, when you look across that political map, there are so many races that will be involving a lot of Latino voters. And when you see numbers like this, I just go,
They're worried about the
if I am a
midterms.
Republican running for Congress.
Talk about one of those races in just a moment. But wait, there's more before that, which is, look, this new CNN poll this week talked about just how people.
They're so excited at CNN that Trump's his approval's finally coming down. Like they're almost jumping up and down. If this dude had pom-poms, he'd be waving.
You could tell he loved saying the bottom's dropping out. He loved it.
Where is Sydney Sweeney jumping on a trampoline? That would make these guys just as happy.
People have
Sexist.
enormous concerns about the economy and enormous disapproval of the president on it. What are Latinos saying about that?
Yeah, okay, I'm going to take 2 for 1 here. It's a 2 for 1 special.
You ready, Gary? 2 for 1.
Or mid-Friday morning, I guess. Latino voters on Trump and the economy. Look, one of the big reasons why Donald Trump put in that record performance with Latinos back in 2024 was because the issue of the economy. They trusted Donald Trump by a 3-point margin against Kamala Harris. But look at his net approval rating on the economy now. Yeah, Johnny B said it best over there. Look at that. Minus 46
It would be
points.
even
That's, again,
worse.
another near 50-point movement.
They can
It
barely
would be
contain
even worse
themselves.
under
Both these guys just gorbasm on TV.
What's gorbasm? No idea.
That was what Ross used to call every time they'd put Gorbachev on. He'd be like, "They just had an orgasm, a gorbasm," because the press loved Gorbachev so much.
That's hilarious. Yeah, they really are. They're loving it.
But listen, there's some underlying numbers there that aren't great for Trump.
You're correct. I think that it's just more revealing to look at the current stuff there. I think they're trying to compare to show these dramatic differences where it's like just show that it's down. Show it's down. That's all you have to show.
Yeah. That's all you got to show.
Yeah. People
Don't be
are
all
not.
dramatic,
Yeah.
CNN.
The bottom has fallen out.
They're so
I wonder
excited.
too why they're
I
even
mean,
throwing
and you know
Kamala's
what?
name out there.
We're probably in the worst. Like, my
Mhm.
guess would be if Trump's right, and if things work like
Yeah,
Trump says
they're
they
going to
will,
bounce back.
and within 2, 3,
Mhm.
4 weeks, we get a bounce back, oil drops like a rock. This will have appeared in hindsight probably to be the bottom of the trough of Trump approval
Yes, I hope
in
so.
summer of
Mhm.
2026. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like it now you'd like to think it can't get worse, but we've
I hope
seen
it doesn't. Yeah.
we've seen that it can
Mhm.
at times.
I
So
hope not.
I
Okay.
wanted to show you something. So that's our
Yep.
Trump stuff. You know what, guys? Uh, Listen, I love Trump, but I just think mistakes.
Yep.
I don't know if mistakes are being made as much as opportunities are
Yes.
being missed.
Important
And
opportunities.
if you're setting up an economy that will be the golden age that is going to raise the
Mhm.
standards and bring the middle class
Mhm.
back up, you need to be out there communicating it. Somebody does.
Mhm.
Somebody does. Vance does. Somebody needs to be out there
Yep.
communicating it to the American people, to the bottom 50% that are
Yes.
slugging it out, that are bringing their freaking plastic bags full of quarters to the gas station, trying to fill up their car so they can get to work, to just try to, they aren't
Yeah.
looking out. They aren't looking at your stock market, looking out 3 years. They aren't thinking 20 years from now, I get to retire. They're thinking maybe I can make it to next
Yeah.
weekend. Maybe I can get through this week. Maybe I can
Mhm.
get enough food. Maybe I can buy my daughter whatever
Yep.
you know what I mean? That's what these
You're right.
people are worried about. And I feel like it's just, it's being
Mhm.
missed. And the problem is the Democrats act like they care about it, and they don't give a damn.
Oh yeah.
Like the Democrats will make you feel all sad. Oh, if only we could bring affordability back and start chopping off your 12-year-old daughter's breast all at once. Like, it's insane. You think, what am I
Yeah.
dealing with here? I've either got out of touch people, or I've got like lunatics that belong in an
Right.
asylum that want to mutilate my kids. How can these be my only
So
choices?
crazy.
And nobody thought Trump was that. They thought Trump was in touch.
Mhm.
So get an administration
Yeah.
that's in touch,
Yep.
is my point.
Vance
Does that
is
make
it's funny you
sense?
bring Vance's name up because I think he'd be perfect, especially because he knows exactly where those people are.
I know. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think Vance would
Yeah.
be great. So
All right. Okay.
anyway, I'm
Okay.
gonna get off of Trump for a little while. I got a couple little things and we're gonna call it a day. We
Okay.
get a little shorter this week, guys. Um I want
Okay.
you to look at this. Let's see. This is a
Ooh.
graph
Graph.
that says it's talking about church attendance,
Yeah.
weekly church attendance. In the 1970s, about 42% of evangelicals reported weekly church attendance. That's that top red line. And you can see that over time with evangelicals is up to 57%. Black Protestants and mainline Protestants, that'd be like your Methodists, your Presbyterians, that kind
Yep.
of thing, your mainline denominations.
Methodists. Wait.
They've lost a little, but they're relatively flat.
Okay.
If you look at it as far as weekly church attendance, Catholics are where it really dives.
Oh,
Catholics started around
this does not
52%,
surprise me.
and by 2026, and this is all this isn't talking about
Right.
conversions, practicing
Mhm.
Catholics, anything like that. All this is weekly church
Mhm.
attendance. And weekly church attendance, Catholics are the ones who have seen it just dive. They've gone from about 52 down to about 22.
Yeah, so I
What do you
think
think, Carrie?
I was gonna look it we don't have to look it up. I think we can estimate that, the very worst of the like the Catholic, the priest, altar server scandals and all of that kind of really the light being shed on that, I think happened somewhere there. I'm guessing probably started coming out in what, the 80s and then it peaked in like the early 90s, mid 90s. So this
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me. I'd be so curious to see if past this graph, if it's coming up because I feel like the Catholic Church is growing.
It does feel like it has
Yeah,
some
it's
good
kind of
buzz.
I think it has a bump right now, and I think that they've done some healing, and, Pope Benedict did a lot during his time, and he didn't finish serving until he was unable. He retired, which is so interesting. It was like he served his purpose to come in, clean up some really bad ugliness, try to change the culture of some, what was happening.
And then turn it right back over to
Well,
the
I'm not.
leftists.
I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like he did some cleaning up, whereas previous popes were
Here's what
moving people around.
Steve
He
Day
came in and
says.
fired them. Yeah.
This is what Steve Day says. He was the one who
Okay.
posted this poll that I saw. And Ryan Burge is the one who actually posted the poll. Steve Day's reposted it. Steve Day says Catholicism is in free fall. Church attendance is uniquely tied to orthodoxy in that sect, given its premium on liturgy, word, and sacrament. In other words, a direct correlation between being present for church and your state of being. It's more so that way in the Catholic Church than anywhere else. That's probably true. This trend line is bad news for America, is his whole point. And that is true, that because of the Catholic doctrine that they think that the Eucharist is that this wafer actually turns into Jesus. That's the whole center of a Catholic Mass, of a Catholic service. And they believe you need it weekly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, it's like tied to, it's kind of part of it.
Right.
Now, I understand that they're not super hardcore, but it is more is going on, at least from the Catholic perspective. I know this maybe now more because my daughter just kind of converted, went over to the dark side. So now we have to have lightsaber fights and things. But no, but it is more centered around the church and the altar than it is in other churches, almost any other churches.
I want to clarify one thing. I won't get in the weeds, but just want to say it's not that the Catholic Church says you need to take communion every week. I mean, it's there and it's great, but attending weekly is just like any other Christian church, and that is it's the Sabbath and you're supposed to go.
Okay.
Just that
it's your Sunday obligation.
But the fact that the Eucharist is offered every week is.
But if you miss a couple weeks and don't get the Eucharist, the idea isn't that you're probably going to hell unless you committed a mortal sin and didn't confess.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it's not that it's a sin not to take communion. It's just you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go to church every week. Yeah.
Okay.
And isn't that consistent with every other church? It's the Sabbath. Keep the Lord's Day holy. That's.
So why do you think that it seems to be uniquely? Oh,
I think it's from the scandals.
There's a lot of problems. They went through all the
so.
scandals, and it just took a toll on everything.
That would be my guess.
Sense.
Looking at that
makes
steep,
sense.
just boom. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that those scandals had and they could not pull themselves
and plus,
out.
at the front end of that graph, was it the 70s? Was 1970 the first decade? I would guess that that's coming out of like this, like it's started going down at that time because of just the hippie movement,
sexual revelation, the pill,
all of that. So I think
everything is going away from everything that the Catholics are holding
the culture
firm
of the time probably started that free fall, and then the scandals probably continued it, and then. But I feel like it's coming back. But
and maybe it is. You would be right that it would
remains to be seen.
It'd be a slower bend to see. You know what I mean? But it does feel like that somewhat. So we got a new segment that I'm going to start that we'll do every once in a while. And I'm still trying to come up with a good name for it, Carrie.
Why do you think the evangelicals are on such a rise over that time?
Well,
they almost intersected like an X.
Evangelicalism didn't exist that much prior to
it's growth.
Well, at least it wasn't it wasn't recognized as its own kind of thing until 40s or 50s. I mean, Billy Graham kind of took evangelicalism and brought it with him, if that makes sense.
The growth.
Not that he was only evangelical, but he came from an evangelical roots, and his message and the way that he preached was real evangelical. To ask people to like raise their hands and walk aisles and things like that, he's pulling from older revivals, but it's also kind of an evangelical thing. And they promote and they market. So when you look at these big churches, when you look at Elevation Church, you look at all the mega churches, those are all evangelical churches because they looked at marketing the Sunday show and decided this is how they approached it like Hollywood, like a business. Now, I don't know if that's good. It makes for a rise in church service when the Sunday show's better. You get a better Sunday show, more people come and watch it. So, and at the same time, along the way, the evangelicalism has been shedding some of its standards. So in other words, you can go to a mega church and you can watch, and nobody really cares that much what you do during the week. Nobody's bugging you. Nobody's, you know what I'm saying? At least that's the perception. I understand that within these mega churches, there might be 10% that's real committed and core and goes to small groups and all these things, but a lot of them don't. And not much is asked of them. And I'm not saying it should be asked of them necessarily, but that's a lot different than the Catholic Church, where the most is asked from people.
Got it.
From a worldly standpoint. Yeah. And so it's interesting that with those two things, you saw those move in opposite directions. And that seems to make sense as I track the culture. Sure. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I just think, and I think you're right. I think that in addition, the Catholic Church was hit by scandals and things like that. And so that hurt them. One could argue that the Catholic Church is so much bigger too, that shifts like in Islam and geopolitical world shifts in populations and things like that could have a more direct. I mean, the evangelical church is certainly more tied to America than anything. Not that there aren't mission fields all over and whatever.
Home base.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
If the Catholic Church over the last few decades if a lot of countries and if it's fallen on hard times reputationally, then you're going to see that all over the place. You might see it in South America. That's going to affect numbers. You know what I mean? Because it's not
like they go into hiding.
I just think maybe that was just in America. I don't remember. But anyway,
thank you.
What our new segment's going to be?
Segment?
Baby's blood or not baby's blood? So we're guessing.
We are going to end on a high note today.
So we're going to look at somebody and decide, and I want you to know, this is John Travolta. John Travolta is 72 years old. Okay. I just want you to see this latest video of John Travolta, and then tell me, is John Travolta look that good at 72, or is he drinking baby's blood? This is what we've got.
Is it baby's blood versus like cosmetic surgery? Can that be the choice? Or
well, it could be. Let's look at him. Here he is. Look at that cream brain.
Let's see. Whoa.
Did he come up for you?
Whoa, what?
Now, that doesn't look like John Travolta to me, exactly.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, did he have a face-off, do you think? Him and Nick, is that Nicolas Cage's face?
Oh my gosh, if that is such a sleeper movie. If you have not seen Face Off, it's a must-see. I showed that to my boys. I love that movie. I showed it to them. They loved it.
That was back in the Nicolas Cage era.
Yeah.
He had an era where he had some big movies that were really
that
good.
One was like,
and Face Off was one of them. Con Air was one. He had some good movies.
Okay.
The Family Man was in that same time.
So good.
The Christmas movie.
He's underrated.
So anyway, let's watch John Travolta. What do we think, guys? You know, some of it is we're just looking at videos. We can't get up close and personal. Whoa.
Is that his daughter?
We're going to turn him down a little.
That must be his granddaughter?
I don't know. It must be his daughter or something. 72 years old. Does he look 72 to you, Carrie?
He doesn't, right?
Am I crazy for this?
He looks like airbrushed right there, man.
Let's get some different frame. Look at him. Let's zoom right in. Oh, I can't zoom. Sorry, guys. I thought I could. So, what do you think?
Baby's blood?
Baby's blood or no?
Christian or Scientology, baby's blood, maybe? Wow. Maybe that's just one of the benefits of Scientology.
It could be. Maybe Scientology has a really good stock of baby's blood. I think it's adrenochrome they're after in the baby's blood, right? Isn't that what we're told?
Good Lord. I will say this. I'm shocked by that video. I was going to say, this is old. That's got to be old, but.
Oh, that just came out. It was at Kane's because he had a whole new look. His cream beret, his whole thing.
I like the look. He looks good. I hope it's not baby's blood.
I'm going baby's blood.
Okay, what's next? Yikes. Okay. Oh,
that's all. That's our only thing.
Okay, are we going to do?
that was his segment. I'm saying a new segment
Nice.
where we, as
Okay.
it comes up, we're
Okay.
going to bring it up, these
That's
famous
perfect.
celebrities, and we'll say,
What do
listen,
you think?
baby's blood or no
What do you
baby's blood?
think?
I think baby's blood,
I
100%.
wonder if Grok thinks that John Travolta. Hey, have you seen, speaking of Scientology, have you seen the trend of like kind of protesters barging in and filming themselves running through the building in Scientology buildings?
Oh,
So
I did notice
funny.
that. I
It's
forgot
so
about it.
funny. They go in all masked
Oh my
up.
God.
The last one I saw, my boys will show it to me. Last one I saw, the guy in front was dressed in a Jesus costume. Barging into Scientology buildings and running through the. It's
Like I say, I
hysterical.
had seen it, but I didn't watch. I
Kind of,
didn't
yeah,
see it
connected.
enough.
It's a trend, which I think is kind of a funny trend.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
anyway, listen, guys, that was a tight
That
hour.
was
Come
tight
on,
hour.
that was a
Tight
5-star rating
hour in the
on
shower.
Apple.
Hold on.
Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. This show right here made my week. Now tomorrow we'll do Beers with Jesus, and that's coming out, and that'll make my week even more because I really love the Beers with Jesus. We're in Genesis right now, and we've been doing Beers with Jesus for a couple of years, and I feel like we have hit our stride. Like the stuff we're doing right now,
it's really interesting.
It's probably better than anything the Catholic Church has put out in 2,000
Except
years.
for their workbooks.
Just kidding.
I know he's ripping on me. Mom, don't be offended that I didn't get mad at that. He's just messing with us.
No, I really think we're putting out some good stuff. God, the Light and
Yeah.
Creation, the Tree of Life stuff, man. You guys, I'm also go to our YouTube channel, which is Todd's World. It might be Todd's World 2023. It's one of those. But we started in 2023 with Todd's World, and so a lot of we had to do the 2023 at the end. So but I think you're going to find I'm putting up some shorter clips too, like some 9-10 minute clips where you can kind of in the Beers with Jesus, you can get into a whole segment. But maybe if people, maybe you have people who like my sister's not a podcast listener, I might get her to listen to a 9 or 10 minute clip. If a clip says 60 minutes, she ain't opening it. Like that's what I know. So I'm trying to put out some
cool.
shorter clips that you can maybe send to some people or post or whatever, like that encapsulate. Like I did one that God delights in creation one by one, and God's making the cardinal, and the whole thing. That was fun. That was a good clip. But it's more than like a TikTok clip.
Yes, it's more than 30 seconds.
More than just like it lets you dig in and you get a flavor for the show. So hopefully dig into that, guys. Check out toddsworld.net. And we'd love for you to share us and give us some ratings and join us tomorrow. That's really the most important thing is that you come back, you enjoy, come back tomorrow. We're going to do Genesis 5, I think, which you're going to look at. If you read Genesis 5 before we do it, you're going to think, God, this is going to be the most boring thing ever. And I'm telling you, it's not. It's going to be so
Really? Because I
good.
think we should blow through Genesis 5. We'll just like skim. But Genesis 5, okay. I trust you, Todd. Though steering the
It'll
ship,
be good.
I trust you. And shout out
It'll
to
be good.
Allison. I have a friend who I found out she's still listening. She sent me
Thanks,
something. And I was like,
Allison.
"Are you still listening to the show?" She loves it. So thank you.
Listen, Allison, and all our other people out there, listen. Again, the best place to send us stuff is on X, but wherever you want to comment or do whatever, I'll try to find it. Baby's blood or not baby's blood, I'm interested in celebrity politician picks. Like if you guys got some videos and you're like, I don't know, this looks like baby's blood to me, send it to us for our new segment.
We will have wild opinions about it.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today,
Todd.
Carrie. Guys, thanks for joining us. We will catch you next week and tomorrow at Beers with Jesus, and then hit toddsworld.net. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.